I want to share an observation with you. And honestly, it's something I've been seeing everywhere lately in relationships, in business, in leadership, and in my own life. What if the thing that's keeping you stuck isn't fear? What if it's loyalty? Not loyalty to another person, not loyalty to your work, but loyalty to an identity you've already outgrown. Because here's what I've noticed. When people feel stuck, they often assume they need something new. A new strategy, a new relationship, a new opportunity, a new plan, a new coach, a new course, a new vision board. Let's be honest. We humans are very creative when it comes to finding new things to fix ourselves with. But what if the real question isn't, what do I need to add? What if the real question is, what am I still holding on to? Because sometimes we're not stuck because we don't know where we're going. Sometimes we're stuck because we're still trying to carry a version of ourselves that just no longer fits. And the interesting thing is, most of the identities we struggle with to let go of aren't bad identities. They were often beautiful identities, necessary identities, identities that helped us survive, belong, succeed, be loved, which is exactly why they're so difficult to release. Because it's easy to let go of something that clearly doesn't work. It's much harder to let go of something that worked for a very long time. Maybe you've built an entire life around being the responsible one, the strong one, the successful one, the spiritual one, the good girl or boy, the people pleaser, the one who keeps everything together, the one who never disappoints anyone. And somewhere along the way, that identity became more important than your truth. Not consciously, but just gradually. And then life starts doing something very interesting. You begin to feel restless. You begin to feel a lack of aliveness. Things that once felt right, they start feeling heavy. You notice yourself forcing things, pushing, performing, working harder, try to make something fit that no longer fits. And often we interpret that as a problem. We think, maybe I need to try just a little bit harder. Maybe I need to get more clear on things. Maybe I need to be more grateful. But what if life is not asking you to try harder? What if life is asking you to become more honest? Because I think one of the hardest truths to face is this. Sometimes the greatest suffering in our lives is not caused by change. It's caused by resisting the change that is already happening. And this is where it gets deeper, because often we're not only loyal to an identity, we're loyal to the expectations. Family expectations, cultural expectations, societal expectations, ideas about what successful life should look like, ideas about what is a good relationship, ideas about what a spiritual person should look like, or what success should look like. You know, for example, many of us grow up with the story that if something is good, you should keep it forever. A relationship, a career, a business, a way of living. And so when life starts inviting us somewhere new, it can feel incredibly uncomfortable. Not because we don't know, but because we do know. And what we know threatens the identity we've built our life around. And that's the uncomfortable part. Because now we're no longer choosing between two options. We're choosing between belonging and truth. And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest initiations of adulthood. Not whether you know what is true, but whether you're willing to live it, even when it disappoints expectations, even when it confuses people, even when it doesn't make sense to everyone around you. Because one thing life keeps showing me is this: your body often knows long before your mind catches up. Your body feels the contraction, the heaviness, the exhaustion, the lack of aliveness. And if you're willing to listen, your body will often tell you exactly where you've become more loyal to an old identity than to your own truth. The deeper I move into this work, the more obvious something becomes. Real transformation is rarely about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more honest about what is true, more honest about what no longer fits, more honest about who you are becoming. And maybe that's the question I want to leave you with today. What are you still loyal to? An identity, an expectation, a story, a role, a version of success, a version of yourself? And does it still reflect who you truly are? Or have you simply become loyal to something you've already outgrown? I'd love to hear your reflections on this in the comments. And please subscribe if you enjoy these conversations around embodiment, self-trust, soul consciousness, human evolution, multidimensionality. And for now, thank you so much for being here.